this video will be all over the place. Like I said, I'll be doing the radiator fan, the GK Tech fan. I'll be doing the fuel pump, the ECU installation, and then just the final like bits and pieces of getting it ready to get driven. So if you want to just skip all that stuff, go to the end to see the driving and outcome. But yeah, this will be pretty much the final installations of everything. All right, let's get into it. There's a couple videos of people doing front mounts in R34s, but the GTTs have these holes drilled out, both of them, for their intercooler. The GT obviously doesn't, so you're gonna have to drill out this one right here for the piping, and then it'll come under, and then this pipe right here will fit in like that. So go get like a 3-inch hole saw or circular saw thing, Harbor Freight or something, drill that, and then the other side you have to take off this water fluid tank and then drill through. Same thing right there to get the piping up there. When you use front mount, you're just gonna need this one. You're gonna have to drill it out. There's actually already a dimple in the middle. It's kind of legit, helps you out. That centers it for you. So you're gonna get a hole saw like this. This is 3 1/4, I think. Just gonna put that there, drill it out. I'm using 2.5-inch piping, so I figured I'd get like a 3.5, an inch more, give me some wiggle room. Alright, so I'm gonna get this out of the way. There it is. Took me like 15 seconds, really easy. Clean, hole straight through, no issues. I'll probably deburr that. Took the washer tank off, which is like 4 bolts, drained it, whatever. And you gotta drill a hole through like this part right here. It's gonna be kind of scary. So I'm just gonna like circle it out here in a little bit and drill to get this other pipe on. The only shitty thing about going front mount with this one is you lose your intercooler tank, or washer fluid tank, because it sits right here where the piping is gonna go through. So you gotta get an aftermarket, like I've seen like fluid bags. It's really weird, but you can hook the motor up to like a bag and put it in the, and if you want my rear wiper is deleted, so one of these is for the rear one and one's for the front. So I'm gonna get that little fluid bag, and just so I can at least have the front one. I don't care about the back one, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. Again, I didn't record it because everyone's intercooler setup might be different, and I don't know. But there's a gist of it. I'm gonna try and mark this spot out and drill through the frame, I guess. Kind of sketchy, and then we'll go from there. If I fuck it up, y'all can watch me do it and laugh. But anyways, so here's the intercooler. Piping is right here. It's gonna come off of, inlet, and then kind of just line it up. And where it's gonna go, it's just area here. So I got the 3.5-inch hole saw. Good old Harbor Freight, Home Depot special maybe. And honestly, I'm just gonna use this. There's like random bolt holes. This one is for the washer tank, I think, or I don't know what it is for, honestly. But I'm gonna use that as my centering point and just put the drill bit there and send it. Alright, I'll switch to the corded drill now. Maybe it's more powerful. I don't fucking know. We'll see. Alright, 1 second. Shooting, safety first. Shooting shavings everywhere. Blocking y'all's view. Sorry about that. There we go. It's coming. Let's come on. Angle might be all messed up, but slowly but surely. All right, secondary piece, so there's like another plate behind it, so I might need to break this one off. A little pinch weld. All right, let's get this piece off. There it is. I ended up just getting like a regular drill bit, and drilling each spot at the bottom until it came out, which it did, so it's not bad. I'll just clean that up with a grinder or something, or drill my die grinder or something, but that's it. Not too bad. Big mess, as you can see, and there's a piece. So yeah, so I've been messing around with the front mount and didn't really record it. Honestly, I forgot to grab the camera, and I've just been tinkering around with it, and I didn't think I'd get this far, but anyways, I'll just explain what I've done so far. So and also it might be different from other R34s because this bar is already cut from mine, but all I did was go to Home Depot and grab these aluminum strips, metal. This one's angled, and I grabbed a strip of just, this is it right here actually, flat, and then that angled one, and used a hacksaw to cut my pieces I needed, drill to drill the holes I needed and whatnot. And so what I did was I grabbed the angled one for the crossbar because there's two mounting points on it, but I used the angled because it was stronger. Then I used a bracket that the CX Racing came with and bent it because there's going to be a wide gap right here. And then this bolt right here is already threaded right here, so that threaded in, used some of the hardware it came with, and like I said, I got random hardware laying around I've just been messing with. So that's the top part. That was fairly simple. The bottom is what I've been tinkering with for a while. There's no brackets underneath my car. There's these bolts, but I don't know if there's R34s that have like brackets or their bumper or what, but I don't have nothing down here. So what I did was took that flat aluminum bar, and then I went and bought these. You can't see. Let me grab my light real quick. I went and bought these blue, I mean, they can get any color, but these are like splitter struts, adjustable linkage for splitters. And so that's how I have it set up, if you can see it. And then I drilled that hole right there through this little piece, whatever it is. I don't really care. So that stabilizes it down here. And then the other side, I did kind of the same thing, but there's already a hole in like the frame. I didn't drill it, that was already been there. And I did the same thing. Bracket, linkage bar, and that's how I have it set up. And I just kept messing with it and adjusting it, throwing my bumper on, putting it back and adjusting for like a good 30 minutes, so I got it perfect. Now I'm just messing around with the intercooler piping, so that's both up, and I'm just like kind of that fits perfect. That hole's perfect for that. Quick update, I got the GK Tech fan installed. It's a lot more slim. This is an old one. Mine was still in good shape, but like I said, got this one to hopefully have clearance for the intercooler piping that'll be running over the radiator. This is pretty simple to come off. It's just 4 or 10 mils. It's just a little tricky in here, down right here, and just pulled it through this little slot very carefully, and it came out. Not bad, but yeah, get the new one installed and continue on. Alright, new GK Tech fan installed, and it actually gave it a lot more clearance. You don't even see the fan from like an upright view. I wish I would have shown it before and after. I'm sure you'll see that in previous videos I have, or just Google Images or something. But yeah, it gave it so much more clearance, so definitely helped the intercooler piping out. So pretty simple to install. I got the GT ECU out. I already got the GTT one in. I just want to show real quick. It's pretty easy. It took me like 10 minutes. You'll get this trim piece off first. It just you just pull up on it all the way down. Take it off. Just get out of your way. Then you'll have this piece. Like it'll go in like so. There's going to be a little plastic nut on the back right there. Back there on that. Unscrew that one and then just pull that way, like away from the column. Pull that way. That pops off, so that's pretty easy. And you get that out of the way, and then there's 3 10 mils. Right there. Let's see if I can show you better. So there's that one right there. There's one right under the ECU right there, and then one right up. Let's see if I can do this and record at the same time. With the stick. Right up in there, and then there's obviously the one on the ECU itself. Take this plastic cover off. 10 mil, take the connector off, and then ECU comes out pretty easy, and then swap it out. Little update with the intake side stuff for the turbo. I initially had got this one, and I've already started the car with this one, and it fits. It's kind of a tight fit because the max speeding rod turbo compressor housing is a 3-inch inlet, and stock RB turbos is 2.5, I think. So you have to get a coupler that goes from 3-inch to 2.5, and then you have to have another middle 2.5 coupler to adapt it to the turbo. Well, when you do that, it adds like a couple inches. Then it pushes the turbo forward, and then these metal lines right here end up kind of rubbing against power steering, and it works. It's just kind of a tight fit, and so I ended up buying the HKS pipe. This is the part number. It fits R33s and R34s allegedly. Well, I'm about to put it on right now, but it's just aluminum, a lot nicer. You don't have to again, but I found it for a good price, so I snagged it. Comes with everything you need, filter and all that stuff. So get the mat swapped over to that, put this one on, and yeah, like I said, you can run this one. It's just to be a tight fit, and why not go with aluminum? So go figure. The RB25DE connector does not hook up to the DET IACV, so I had to go and buy the connector, and I wired it in so it'll connect up to the I couldn't find any adapter, so I had to hard solder it in. And then as well as the this is it right here, sorry. There's the new one for the IACV, because that's right here. And then this one is for the TPS. The TPS also doesn't fit. That's in a whole nother video. But this is the setup I have for the TPS. I ended up de-pinning something, wiring it, and making a little harness to this. And I bought this connector. I bought this connector on Wiring Specialties, and then you can see how I connect them. But they connect now, so TPS and IACV won't work with DE to the DET, so you have to do some sort of wiring to get it to work. You do whatever you want. I just went and got 2 connectors, and that's the setup. I didn't get the throttle cable bracket from the guy for the intake. It's different from the GT. This is a GT. It's like and the GTT has 2 bolts. The GT has 2 bolts, but in a different way. So I can only get 1 bolt on it, and I just tightened it down as tight as I could, and then you have to adjust this, and then it fits right up to the GTT throttle body, but then the throttle cable is kind of weird, so you either got to buy the GTT throttle cable, which I might later, or it's going to be like this, which is fine. I mean, we'll see when I go drive it for the first time, but that's something else you'll have to mess with. And got the fuel pressure regulator in, and the gauge, and that works, and it's all set up good. I don't remember if I finished the video on that or not, but this video on YouTube how to do in diagram, so it's not that hard. But yeah, everything's coming together pretty smooth. This is a setup. I've been starting it slowly until I was priming the oil feed line, and I finally started getting oil into this thing. So now I'm gonna hook this up to the turbo and start it and let it run. I was having a bunch of issues with this. I ended up changing the port from this. I used the wrong port on the Tark's relocation kit. Apparently the port I was using was just to drain oil. It had no pressure at it, so thank God I didn't start the car thinking it was going to be good. This is why you always test the line before you actually start and let the car warm. I would have burnt up the turbo within the first couple minutes probably of it just idling. So yeah, you definitely want to do this before you start the car and let the turbo start spooling. Go ahead and start her up. Sounds good, idling smooth. I had to hook the map up just like this, just to let it idle, or else it kept dying. So let it warm up, get to operating temp, and look for leaks and whatnot. I skipped ahead. I've done a lot off camera. Just when it comes down to like the final part of putting the car back together, I kind of just started rushing because I wanted to get it together and start driving it. I was getting excited, so skipped a lot, but I'm just gonna pretty much go over it. Got the whole intercooler, everything's set up right now. I was putting on 10 mil spacers and extended lug studs on the front, so now that I got the wheel off, I can show you the rest of the intercooler piping. So after we drilled that hole and ran the intercooler piping through here, it looks like such with the oil cooler right there. Let's see if I can kind of get a shot. And goes through as good clearance from the bumper and everything. So this side was perfect, fit up good. It comes up here from right there down up to this upper pipe, which this upper piping has a bracket right here, you can see. I think it's supposed to bolt up to like something else right there. I didn't use it, and it doesn't really line up with these holes. I don't know if it's supposed to or not, but it doesn't matter, because even if that did bolt up to that, it would throw this angle off, and then it wouldn't connect up to here. So there it goes up to the charge pipe. How to buy this extended straight silicone 2.5 to 2.5, because there's a big gap right here. I'm not too sure if this piping was supposed to go all the way to the front, but it doesn't, so you're gonna need this. So from the turbo, the max speed turbo, you'll need a 90-degree silicone, like a 2-inch to 2.5, because the outlet from the compressor housing is a 2-inch, really small. Then you gotta adapt it to a 2.5, so that goes into a 90 piping, 2.5, straight down into the, you can't really, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, the lower piping right there. And I had to adjust this side a lot because it kind of sits low and it was hitting my bumper. I ended up not using a couple pieces, but I got it working or fitting fine. It's all right. Intercooler piping is always a pain in the ass adjusting it. You gotta adjust everything. It's super annoying, but you'll just have to mess with it for a few hours or so. So that's my setup, and then I don't know what part of the video I'll put it in, but I ended up going with the HKS suction piping, aluminum. When you go to do your intercooler piping, I had a 45. I thought this was going to be a 45, but just go ahead and buy a 90, a 45, and a straight. Like, you're going to have to just mess around with it with intercooler piping. Everyone's setup will probably be different, but that's mine, and it works perfect. So yeah, that's the intercooler. Everything looks good. I ended up painting the Nismo on there just so it looks sick. And it fits perfect, looks perfect, and it came out really good. So there's the intercooler setup. I don't think I ever showed it, but after I deburred the hole I cut right there for the intercooler, I got like some vacuum line and split it in half, and that's what I used to wrap around the metal, so it's, you know, this pipe wouldn't be rubbing up against metal. It's just an easy trick to do. I did that for this one, and they went over there as well, but I already put the bumper on so you won't be able to see it. Now that we know the car drives, no issues, it's really smooth for, you know, just bolting everything on and taking it for a trip. I went and put gas in it right now. I put a couple gallons because I'm gonna do the fuel pump now. I didn't want to do the fuel pump and the blow-off valve. I want to do that right now and the fuel pump. I didn't want to do that all at once because, you know, doing all that and then trying to chase any issues if I would have had any issues. I know my fuel pump worked before, so that's why I started it now. It runs, everything's good. So now I can go into putting the new fuel pump on, and you know, if I have issues, then obviously it's a fuel pump. And then with the blow off valve, the 50/50 vent to atmosphere and recirc, I know this one worked because I could hear it opening and closing when I was under boost. So I know it worked fine. So now when I put this on, if I have issues, I know what I'm chasing at least. So kind of a little tip there. Doing the fuel pump now, so it's pretty simple. Take your stuff out, your interior out or whatever. This is 4 10mm bolts for this plate. The plate just pops off. Then you got 3 hoses. One of them has a clamp, the other 2 are like quick disconnects. You just with some needle nose get them popped off. Just a tip, before you start disconnecting any of this, take the pump out. This shit's dirty in here, so I took an air compressor, blew out all the dust and vacuumed it or wiped it off as much as I could. So when you open up the cap, nothing, you know, no debris or anything gets into the fuel tank. And then what you do is you get like a flathead or something, and the gas cap, the fuel pump like lid has a bunch of notches all around it, and you just get a flathead and push lefty loosey righty tighty. So with your hand on this side and then a flathead on this side, you just push and work it and unscrew it off like a cap, and that'll pop off. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. I don't have the GoPro stand, so I can't record it, but I'll do that. Alright, there it is. Unscrewing like a cap. Just unscrew it off. And I'll see if I can pull out the I only have like 2 gallons of gas in it. It was on E when I started working on the car, and then I went and put like a couple gallons in it just to be safe. For when I put the new pump in, it has some sort of fuel to get. But I wouldn't do this when it's full, obviously. So goes that cap. There goes that cap, just set it off to the side. And then should be able to just pop this out, hopefully. There we go. There it is, it popped off. So I'm gonna go ahead and I don't want to do this on camera because I want to see how it looks coming out, so I can put it in the right way. But that's pretty much it. So I'll be back once I get it out. Alright, there it is. Before I disconnect it, I want to show you, it's on like a track system. So you pull it up and the pump rides on, yeah, like a track system. But you have to unlock, there's a tab like right here. You have to just put some pressure down right here and then pull up as you're doing that, and it'll come off the track. It's a really tight spot, like it's this little hole, so you can only get like one hand in there, so it's kind of tricky, but wasn't too bad. A couple minutes, and go ahead and get everything disconnected and get on the workbench, and then we'll swap the pump over. Here's the pump out. This is that track system I was talking about. It sits in there like this. You just pull down right here, pull out, and it rides. This is groove right here, pulls out. It's this whole assembly. So essentially what we're gonna do is, here's the old pump, this is the new pump. So just 1 for 1 it. The connector should connect in, replace that hose, put the sock. The only thing is that the new pump came with this sock, which is like way tinier than the stock one. I watched a video of some dude do it, he kept this stock one on there. This one doesn't look too bad. I don't know if it's been replaced before or not, but I don't know if we should just get this one on there, if it'll be better. I don't know. I do a little bit of research before I swap it over, but that's it. Just 1 for 1 and put the pump back in. That'll be it. No wiring, no nothing. Easy swap. Got the I'm just gonna end up using the aftermarket, or the one that came with the pump. The stock one's a lot longer. I don't think I'll have an issue. That just probably holds a little bit more fuel, but I just won't run it to E. I don't know. It's not that hard to take out, so I can always swap back, but why would I go with the 25-year-old one possibly instead of just using the one the pump came with? So we'll go ahead and send it. Got that on. Of course, there's another mod you gotta do to this for it to fit. This pump is obviously bigger lengthwise. Where's the old pump? I threw it somewhere, but this is like longer than the pump. So when you put it on the base right here, the rubber hose that connects from the fitting to the fitting on the pump, it doesn't fit because these two touch. There's just no clearance. So, and I already cut it, but you have to cut, like, see that's how long it would have been, and the pump wouldn't fit because it would be touching tips. But so you have to cut this off like a decent, so then you have a little bit of gap to get the pump fit on there, and then there's a little gap to get the rubber hose. I guess the GTT's rail's different. I've seen someone do this on GT. They have to do this, but obviously it's a GT, so of course you always gotta improvise, but that should do it. Whatever, I followed that off, cleaned, make sure all the shavings were done, cleaned off. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this all together now. Okay, here it is, all swapped over. The hose fits up perfect now. No wiring, it's all plug and play. Got the clips in. Yeah, there it is. This is a rubber grommet you got to put on the new pump, and it clicks in. What doesn't click in, it just fits into that little housing right there. And that's it. So we'll go ahead and put it back in the car and start the car. Check the fuel pressure regulator and the gauge and see if it has the same. It should read the same pressure. Nothing should have changed. So we'll go ahead and throw it back in and start it up. I got the pump back in. I didn't show that part because it's just the same thing. Just reverse it, click everything back together, get the cap on, all that stuff. Connectors the same way. Don't mind the fan. I'm just letting it air out. It smells like fuel inside my car like crazy. So yeah, go ahead and turn the ignition on. Make sure the pump. I heard the pump kick on. I hear it priming for a little bit longer. Made a noise. It's not weird. And of course, you guys can't see it. Let me get my flashlight. Looks like it has the same pressure. I didn't start it yet, but yeah, sitting at like 40 or 45. It's slowly going down because I haven't started the car yet, but it's got pressure, so that's a good sign. I'll start it here in a little bit. Well, the car is finally out the garage. I've driven it a few times to work now, and I'm really impressed on how it turned out. It almost drives stock. It's like if I never did nothing or the turbo came stock on it. Hasn't skipped a beat yet. It'll be my daily driver, so I'll just keep y'all posted. This is probably the last YouTube video I'll make. If I do make one more, it'll be about the check engine light being on due to like a couple sensors that the GTT has that the GT doesn't. And actually, I probably will make a video about that because I bought the software to plug up to that with the console and the NIS scan, I think it's called. So yeah, I'll probably do a video about that and how to make the check engine light go away by tricking the computer into thinking that those sensors are there. But other than that, like I said, the car drives amazing. Yeah. I'll probably put a list of or I'll do the math and I'll put in how much I spent overall. It could be a lot cheaper if you don't buy like the oil filter relocation kit and oil cooler and all that stuff. But you can do this fairly cheap if you're smart about it and you're patient. Find someone selling their GTT stock stuff. So yeah, there it is. It'll be my daily driver, so I'll let you know if anything happens with this max spinning rod turbo and any other issues. Unfortunately, I made a bunch of footage with the GoPro out on the sunroof for the outside view, but the audio is just horrible. Too much wind noise. My GoPro is really old, so I didn't notice it till I got off work and I was editing it, and yeah, you can't hear anything. So I'm trying to do the head cam view and get some inside noise, a sound from driving the car. So go ahead and do that right now. Take it around the block. Drive it for a little bit, get into boost, and you can at least hear it from the inside. Nothing crazy. I just got done wiring in. Finally got the gauges. I got some Australian made pillar pod attachment, so I got both gauges there, boost and air fuel. And I have 3 gauges right here you can't see. They're not working. I did the wiring, or undid the wiring, and they're not working. I gotta mess with that. And then I put a new Kenwood head unit in. I had a Japanese one. I put a K1 in, and so I can get a reverse camera. So it works now. You can see got the backup lights and everything. So go ahead and kick this drive off. And then I got a GPS miles per hour gauge. Just got on Amazon for like 25 bucks. It works pretty good. I got tired of trying to remember what kilometer conversion was, so I just bought the digital GPS one and stuck it right there. Works fine. Like I've said earlier, I've been driving it for about 2 weeks now. The first week I drove it and then put it in the garage and a bunch of loose exhaust bolts and stuff, and then I had to buy a special wrench to get it all tied in, so I finished that. And it's just been raining up here in Washington, and my hood has a vent on it, so I don't want to drive it in the rain, so then it just sat in the garage for a while. Yeah, it's back together now. The only big issue I've been having is fuel. I keep smelling fuel from inside the from my fuel pressure regulator. It's been leaking. I've just been tightening and messing with it, and yeah, see if you can hear the turbo spool. Hopefully you can hear the turbo spool with the head cam from the inside. I definitely can. I can hear the blow off valve. I'll do some with the window down and up, and then see if there's any difference. See if you can hear the boost with the windows up. Onto like the main road in the town right here, and then try and hit some boost. See if I could get 10. So I've only ever seen, my max I've hit is like 10 point, pretty much 10 psi. I'll try and get into full boost right here when I turn off onto this main road right here. PSI. I was about 9-ish PSI. Hopefully you can hear the blow off valve and the turbo spool up when I put the windows up. I think if I put the windows down, you'll just hear a bunch of road, like wind noises. I'll try it. Trying to get 10 PSI right here on the main road again. All these cars are coming, so probably not. We'll see. Still 9. See, it's really hard to get 10. It's a 50-mile-an-hour road here. I don't want to go any. There's always cops right here, so actually I'll keep going this way. Like 9 PSI. About 9 PSI right there. Almost 10, 9 point something, so not bad. But yeah, that's it. Drives really good. It hasn't died on me. I messed with the idle. Doesn't die at stoplights no more. It drives really well for doing this swap. Like, it's gonna be my daily, so again, I'll keep y'all updated if anything changes. It turbo blows up, I don't know, my motor blows up, but overall I'm super impressed with how it came out.